I've been building this container house alone, off-grid and with no experience in the remote Australian bush. Last week I made a start on building out the interior of this dumbwaiter to make it operational. And this week it's time to get her finished so that I can use it to transport small tools and materials from the first story to the second and vice versa while I build out the rest of this house. Last week I built out the walls of this dumbwaiter with XPS foam board insulation and plywood. And now it's time to fill all the gaps and paint it. But the problem is I'm not 5.5 meters tall. I shoved a ladder in here last week to do all the walls, but that isn't an option for this job. And that's why I'm up here on top of the dumbwaiter, because the only sensible way I can think to do this job is obviously to attach the winch that's going to be used to operate the dumbwaiter and then attach myself to it in a harness and lower myself up and down as I apply the gap filler and paint. So let's get to work. Can you see? I'm gonna make sure I can get it attached to the winch first, and then I'll use some silicone to hold it all in place and seal it all. All right, this is gonna be the really hard part. This is the situation. Got it on the tiniest bit, and I just need to tighten it. Oh my gosh, I honestly thought that was going to be a walk in the park. It obviously was not a walk in the park, but I have it all tight, and now I'll give you a look. Hard to see, but see there? So I've tightened that all up. Now what I'm going to do is get back on the top, pull it as much up as I can, tighten it, and then cut off the top flush. I'll also make sure I put some silicone on to make sure it's all waterproof. And I can finally get to the fun job of attaching myself with the hoist to the winch and doing the gap filler and paint. I hope it's fun. I hope it's not hard as well. Far out, Brussels sprout. Nice. Day. Perfect, there we go. I'm still not 100% sure what I want to do with the outside of my house. My idea is definitely to use my clay that I've got free on the property here to plaster the outside of the house, which is going to be a huge job, but I also need to think of, clay doesn't stick to metal, so I also would need to think of the material to clad it with as well. And I'm thinking cement fibre board would probably be the best, considering the exterior, all that kind of stuff. And if so, I'm thinking I clad the whole entire outside with cement fibre board, including this dumbwaiter and wardrobe, everywhere basically. And then my idea would be, so most of the house would just be plastered with the clay that I've got on the property, but for the dumbwaiter and the wardrobe, and then also the entire side where I've got the container doors, I would love to create one side that is just completely finished with stone, and having one whole side of the container house made out of stone from here on the property, but also the dumbwaiter and the wardrobe. I'm thinking that's how I want to finish them off, and I reckon that would look so, so nice. Oh my gosh. This is not the most comfortable, but we will deal. Bye. Going up. And that's good to me. It's a bloody small gap. Another day, team. Last night I ended up getting all the gap filler finished, which was a much trickier job than I had originally thought. I thought it was going to be quite funny on that harness. Turns out, swinging like a piece of meat, hanging by the back of yourself is not the best time. Because I only just had space standing up in there, because your legs are up too, there is like no space to turn around. But there's really no other way to do it because I can't have the ladder in there now. I also spent this morning going along and just sanding the gap filler back a bit to make it nice and smooth, because as you know, it was a very difficult job to get it nice and neat in there when you're hanging. Now, I'm gonna go in with the paint. I'm equal parts nervous and excited. I'm so excited to see it like all painted and finished, but I'm not too excited to get back in that harness again, I can tell you that much. I'm gonna do what I did yesterday. I'm going to start at the top, do as much as I can without being in the harness, and then I will get in the harness and finish the rest of it off. Ta-da! It is not all done, but I have done as much as I can to just there, if you can see. Yeah, just there. I did as much as I could, like reaching just from this point here to make it a little bit easier for me. And what I'm gonna do now is actually wait for it to dry while I start making my box, because I don't want all of these like cords and stuff to move around as I'm like using the winch and coming up and touch all the wet paint and destroy it. So I'll wait for this section to actually dry, and then I'll hook myself up to the hoist and get the rest of it done. It is looking gorgeous. I do think I'm gonna paint this as well. There's no real reason to, because I am having framing that's gonna come out and cover this. So eventually it's just kind of like a little hole in the wall and you won't be able to see any of this anyway. But just for the time being, I might as well paint it just to hide it and make it blend in a little bit better. The framing is coming very, very soon though. I have a visitor coming today, a very exciting visitor coming today. And he was like, oh, would I be able to stop by tomorrow afternoon? I wonder if you can guess what about. And I was like, yes, 100 times yes, I will be here. Come whenever you want. Let's do this. So that is very exciting, and it means I will be getting the framing done extremely soon. And then, yeah, basically it will cover, like it'll be like a wall, and this will just be a hole in the wall basically, and then I can make all my doors to go over. I think I'm just gonna have like a slide down door probably. I can also, if I want to, put vents in later, but if I have a slide down door, then I don't really need to have the vents, because it won't be like a closed locked space that like air gets trapped in or anything and gets moist. So I'll probably have them open a lot as well. And yeah, I'm not going to have it airtight. So vents really wouldn't be needed. There's nothing in Australian standards that says vents are needed unless it is a commercial building with 3 stories or higher. And now I need to go make my box that is going inside it. I'm going to be using steel angle as well. I also need to put steel angle down both sides once it's all painted and dry, because I could just make a box and connect it by the top, which I definitely could do. Will move around a bit, and I don't want it to like wobble at all. I want it to be completely sturdy. So if I want it to be completely sturdy, then I need to add basically steel angle down the sides, and I've got like skateboard wheels. That's what the skateboard is for as well. And they will run along the steel angle basically so that it can't wobble at all. These are my little steel angle pieces that I've just cut. I'm going to lower the welder down via the rope that I put it on the strap. So that I've got the welder down here. I'm going to weld the majority of my box together, but I am going to leave the bottom section not attached, because I do need to also put the plywood within the box as well. We all know I'm off grid, and I could not live or complete this build without my power station. And BLUETTI have been my OG go-to for reliable power stations. The first power station I ever got for this build was from BLUETTI, and BLUETTI have been getting me through my solo container home build every day since. So this little guy alone is the B300 expansion battery. I've just started using the BLUETTI Elite 200 V2. BLUETTI are gonna help me achieve it. This is the BLUETTI Apex 300. Let's pop the BLUETTI 200 V2 on charge, the perfect power station to power them while I make my decking boards. Let's give a well-deserved moment to this beast of a machine right here. This impressive new product by BLUETTI is called Fridge Power Backup System. My latest favorites from the BLUETTI range have been the Elite 300 and Elite 400 for two very different reasons. Let's run through the BLUETTI Elite 300 first, and this little guy is the world's smallest 3 kWh portable power station with a just right balance, you know? The size of it is actually more comparable to a 2 kWh system. And the Elite 300 offers everything you need, so you don't need to overspend on unnecessary output. It's currently one of BLUETTI's best-selling models, and you can see why. Because with the compact size but all this power, it's perfect for camping, touring, and off-grid use. Now let's get to this mammoth of a machine, the BLUETTI Elite 400. It's probably obvious, but this guy can handle longer, heavier loads due to its large capacity. That doesn't make it any harder to move around the job site though, because it comes with amazing portability due to its wheels and handle. So it can be used for anything from a home backup, caravan setups, outdoor activities, or if you're like me, using power tools for long periods of time. Using either the Elite 300 or Elite 400 with solar panels will help you reduce electricity costs through peak shaving and energy storage. And this week, they're not only powering me to finish building out my dumbwaiter, but they're actually powering the motorized hoist for my dumbwaiter too. And they will continue to power it throughout the build and when my house is completed. So a huge shout out to BLUETTI, because I really would be lost without them. And if you've been thinking about getting yourself one of BLUETTI's incredible power stations, then the time would be right now, because they're having a massive end of financial year sale, and you can check it out with the link below in my description. Now you're probably wondering what this bit on the top is. Let me tell you. This bit on the top is because I am going to put a piece of rebar through here that the dumbwaiter is going to be connected to. And instead of just welding the rebar on top of this, I want it to be as stable as possible, which means I thought I might put another piece on there so that there's just more chance of it not coming out, you know, and just coming off like that. If I've got this all welded in everywhere and on this side, then the rebar and the rebar's welded, then it shouldn't be able to move at all. Gosh, this is looking good. There we go. Perfect, perfect, perfect. And I'm just gonna wait until I get my piece of rebar to weld that one in so that it's perfect. Gosh, this looks good. So the first thing I'm gonna do is try slot this into place to make sure it definitely fits in the dumbwaiter hole, because we definitely need that to happen. And then what I'm gonna do is do each part bit by bit. I'm gonna cut out the bottom piece first and then kind of work my way up the sides to make sure they all fit in gorgeously and that the steel angle, the two last pieces, fit in top, then the rebar, and then the last little tiny bit of steel angle right there. It should be a thing of beauty. All right, let's see if this fits though. Now this stuff is in my way a little bit. I wonder if I can. Stay over there. Oh, nice. Now remember, it's also going to have the steel angle going down the side, so I needed to allow space for that as well. fits bloody brilliantly. That fits like a bloody glove. So essentially, with all my ply in there, that'll be the size of my dumbwaiter box. So very skinny, but quite long, so that's good. Gonna have to get some small little plates, aren't I? Can fit a load of drinks, I'm sure. Holds 500 kg, so. And now it's time to, wind helping me out, it's time to cut the plywood. Okay, let's make sure it fits. Oh my gosh. So close, but no cigar, I don't think. Nah, I'm gonna have to cut the tiniest bit off. No. At least it's too big and not too small. I have trauma with that, as we know. Let's try that again. Oh, come on. Oh my gosh, literally so close. Bugger. One last time. Yes, that is perfect. Absolutely perfect. All right, let's measure. Oh, I should have brought the measuring tape with me to do the sides. Bloody beautiful. I am so happy. Okay, if you hadn't guessed by now, guess who just came to look at the house?
Hey, Jasmine. How are you? Yeah, good. How are you? Yeah, that's good. Yeah, this is looking a lot better than it was last time I was here.
Yeah, I think
Some structure,
yeah, so definitely a lot changed. Getting there.
Yep.
The plumber.
Yep.
This is the kitchen.
Yep.
This is laundry and bathroom.
Yep.
And then bathroom upstairs as well.
Oh,
That's
okay.
it. Yeah, and then you put in your septic system.
Yeah, this is right.
Yeah. And I'm one very happy girl for so many reasons. So he came once before, and that was to install my septic tank and my septic tank basically. Then at that stage I asked him when he had to come back, and he was like, oh, I can come when your containers arrive if you want. And I think he meant just to like, I'm not sure, but I misunderstood and thought that there was something he needed to do before plumbing. He was like, no, I can do that when you've got your framing in. So that means I can move ahead with my floors, I can move ahead with my framing.
Yeah, I just need the framing in, that's about it.
Yeah, so I get the framing in and then you come do plumbing and I do construction after that.
Yeah.
I can move ahead with my deck because he said, I was like asking him about the gutters and the rainwater tank and everything, and he was like, yeah, you're allowed to do all that.
Water's fine, but you don't have to be licensed to do stormwater. So,
is that?
yeah,
Yes?
yeah,
Oh, so I can do
any
it?
rainwater, yeah, you can do.
Oh, perfect,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
What system would you use? Because obviously that's a long way to run it above the ground. Would you go under the ground?
Yeah, I just go down in the ground
Yeah.
and then just bring it up.
Water like coming from the house to the rainwater tank, you're allowed to do. And it's just like the water going, he said it was like stormwater, any stormwater stuff. And then he said coming from the rainwater tank to the house, like those plumbings he has to do. But I can also hook up like permanently from the gutters to the rainwater tank. Oh, and he even said I can dig him a trench to save like a bit of money as well. Going from the rainwater tank to the house where he's gonna run all his poly. I'm not sure what that is, but oh my God, this is so exciting. This means I can go with so many things now.
Mention it takes time by itself.
Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely. I work like non-stop, but yeah, definitely take a long time to do everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh thank you. I'm excited after school. That was just so fantastic. He's lovely. I'm so excited. Now it's all systems go. It's all systems are going! Oh my God, guess what? Everything is very good news. So I'm gonna spend this week obviously finishing this dumbwaiter, and I was really hoping that this would be the case because yeah, I have everything set to go. I've just kicked myself, but I'm like so excited. I have everything set to go. I'm all ready for all the stuff. I've got all the materials. I'm one very, very happy girl right now. Bit exhausted. This is exciting news, guys. This is real exciting news. And now I just need to find an electrician, but I don't have to wait. I just mean like before I finish the framing, basically, it would be great to find an electrician because I still don't have that. But, sorry, I have to get this energy out. This is just so exciting. And yeah, he said I was doing a really good job as well, which is very nice. I'm over the moon. So I'm gonna try finish what I can on this dumbwaiter today. Still got another day to work on it tomorrow. And then next week, can you guess what I'm doing first? I may have already told you, but if you wanna guess or you already know, say it in the comments. This house is about to turn into a home. I'm gonna have to cut them all off, but that's okay. It rained last night, so all the little willy wagtails are enjoying the fresh rain that's sitting in the tubs. I never have my hair up like this, but I'm about to do a job that I've not been looking forward to. But first, I finished my gorgeous box last night. It is looking, I'll give you a little close up. It is looking absolutely spectacular. Spectacular. I am so excited to get it in there. There's going to be a few parts to today. So, first part, well, I've got my hair up. I'm about to head into the dumbwaiter and I'm going to try paint it all. This is going to be a very tricky task. It was so difficult to do the gap filler, and that was gap filler. Now I have to hold a tray full of paint. Oh, this could end so terrible. But then I also need to attach steel angle within the dumbwaiter. I'm also attaching skateboard wheels to the dumbwaiter box so that they can sit on either side of the steel angle and run down it. That is so that the dumbwaiter box does not swing or shake or not be centered when you put stuff in, so that it just goes up nicely with no wobble. Unfortunately, the only skateboard wheels I could find were attached to a children's skateboard, and they are fluoro green. Yay. For now, they work. I'll try to find some online maybe, and that is something that I can swap over pretty easily. I'm hoping I can finish this in good time and have a little picnic. Should I get in this harness and get to painting? I am worried. Yeah, all right, let's do it. Am I pretty? Well, I'm up pretty much there. Okay, we're up to the spot. Oh my God, guys. I was trying to film and I just tipped all of that paint on me and it's running down my leg right now. Ah! I need to go down a little bit. This is not good. This is not good. In my hair, it's all over my clothes and the GoPro. Oh my gosh. Mess. Mess, mess, mess. I think I can reach the rest and get me bloody out of here. Oh no, I'm tipping it again. I need to clean up a lot of stuff before it dries right now. I have paint everywhere. Success, but paint everywhere, and I think I can reach the rest now. It is literally everywhere. Look at my leg. Can you see my leg? I've just been tipping it all over myself trying to film it, and I probably didn't even film that well, sorry. Oh my golly. Can you see this? Oh my goodness.
Life's short when you don't pay attention, and even shorter when you do. A tough shot, a walking contradiction, even weirder than she looks. Then she said, I'm a gritty, grinning rich cactus. My love's a dish, the best unserved. Oh.
So much paint in my hair. And that's almost a wrap on the painting. I have done the dumbwaiter now, and now I've kind of done the dumbwaiter box. I just need to get down right at the bottom there and flip it over and do the bottom as well, but I'll just wait for the top to dry before I do that. While I'm waiting, I'm gonna get a move on with the steel angle. And basically what I need to do is just drill into this steel angle, because like pre-drill all the holes, because it's gonna be attached to the side of the walls. I am not a fan of drilling into steel, and I'm just gonna make the lengths to go in the side. Once the dumbwaiter's all dry, then I can attach them along the side. I can get my box in, and then I'm going to, once the box is in, attach all the wheels and stuff to it while it's hanging by the winch so that I can hopefully secure it in place. I have just drilled all my holes. Horrible on the wrist, but actually way quicker than I thought it was gonna be, so that is good. So I've got a lot of holes. These little ones only have 2, but I've got 4 or 5 in each of the long pieces. Now I need to get them into the dumbwaiter and get them into place with just like measuring tape to make sure they're in the middle, and a level to make sure they're nice and level as well. Screw them into place, and then I can get my dumbwaiter box in, which I'm also worried about because, yeah, I'm just worried that the paint hasn't had enough time to dry on either ones. However, I do believe I will be changing the color of paint in the future to match the walls or whatever I'm doing within the house, which will not be white. So I kind of just chose that as a base for now, basically. But I was also thinking it's gonna be way easier next time because I'm actually gonna use the dumbwaiter box. So next time I'll be able to do what I did before and reach what I can from the top, but then I'll be able to get on the dumbwaiter box, go down, and actually paint as I go. Forgot how little space is in here. Awesome. Okay. I'm wondering, once I get this one up, if I should actually get the dumbwaiter in so that I can make sure everything fits before I do the top 2. Probably a very smart idea. I'm learning on this build, I'm learning. How do I get out of here? Oh my goodness. Shit a brick. All right, it is time to put it in. I'm gonna bring down the winch and get it on the winch as well, I think. Oh, I'll just try put it in first. Oh my gosh, I'm so nervous. Imagine if it doesn't fit. Oh my gosh. I'm trying to be careful too because I don't know if the paint is like fully dried. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I don't know if this thing's gonna fit. It's the shackle on it. Oh no. Oh no. Far out. Far. Oh no, I don't think it's gonna fit with the shackle on it. No! What am I gonna do? I'm gonna have to cut it off. That's gonna wreck all the paint and everything, and then I'm gonna have to weld it inside, which is not gonna be good. And cutting this off is gonna be hard because I've like proper welded it. But it's definitely not fitting. Oh no! This is terrible news. Bugger. I'm gonna have to cut off this beam. Far out. Oh no. Disaster. That's off. I believe. Yeah. Okay. Whew. Let's try this again, shall we? She's going in. We're definitely going to have to do some paint retouches, but we can do that after we've connected everything. Oh, yes. It fits either side of the steel angle. Thank goodness. Gosh, it's a heavy box. How do I do this? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I'm about to get my head chopped off. Oh my gosh. Oh. Ah. We did it, guys. We did it. Oh. Oh my goodness. That was no bloody walk in the park, let me tell you. Oh, that fits well. Oh my gosh, that fits so bloody well. Attack. Get that back in, weld that back in. Then I'm gonna connect it to the winch, pull it up more. I'll actually probably travel down on it so I can do those pieces of rebar unless I can reach from up there. But I might put it just below where I need so I can stand on it type thing. All right, let's do this. This really does suck. Done. Sucks about paint job. Okay, see why I need the skateboard wheels? See how that swung? That is why I need the skateboard wheels to keep it in place on these tracks. Very nice. Or do I put it up the top and go down from there? Nah, I'll just hop on here. Hopefully there's enough space. We're gonna get the last bit secured and then it's just the skateboard wheels to go and I am done. And a little bit of paint retouching, but hey. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I have a working dumbwaiter. I cannot believe I have a working dumbwaiter. Almost. It's a great day. It is a great day. Now this also, so my walls aren't in place yet obviously, but what is gonna happen is I'm gonna secure this to the sides of the dumbwaiter basically, and then basically have it so it's running through the walls, and then this will be attached on the wall. Probably gonna paint it too to change the color because I don't like the fluorescent colors, but yeah, this will basically be kind of sticking out from the wall. I'm not sure exactly how I'm gonna do that part yet, but so that it looks good. And you're probably wondering how I'm gonna do it from the top then. I bought this specific hoist, winch, whatever you wanna call it, because it also has a wireless remote as well. So that'll be attached to the wall upstairs. I can also take it off. It's a wireless one, so I can move it around. And that's what's gonna control it from upstairs. I am bloody excited. I am slightly worried. Okay. Am I gonna get it? Right, I'm gonna do it. I'm trying to work out what the best way to do these skateboard wheels are, like up here or down there, and I think the best way is gonna be going down, do the top, and like, so I'm not inside here as well, and putting weight on the dumbwaiter, and then yeah, push it up, see if that works, and then do the bottom, I reckon. Okay, sorry, I'm gonna try go down. I got the skateboard wheels attached, then it was time to test her out just in time for that well-deserved picnic on the rooftop deck, and of course I gave some to the dogs after too.
Take my time, dear, just to keep
go.
you around here. You know what they say, you can't keep the clouds away, away, far away. Every day is a brand new day. All my life I've been searching for the right way to keep my head above the clouds, to keep myself from looking down. It's harder than you think to live our days in happiness and worry about what happens next. It's harder than you think to.
As always, I hope you have a fantastic week and I will see you next Sunday.